Welcome back to The Outsider's Perspective. My name is Ollie, and here's your loaf of daily bread. Today's loaf comes to us from a Dutch author whose name I'm about to butcher. I'm just going to read it right off the note here. Janwillem van de Wetering. Now don't let this name fool you, because what this author has to say is meaningful. And it goes like this. Life is misery and miraculous beauty. The word miracle has been used too often and has lost its value. But we live in miracles. The thrushes in the park, the ducks drifting on the canals, the floating seagulls, but also the car on the highway, the mechanical digger, and the large square apartment blocks. Whoever can take the time and the peace to observe is surprised and feels the void of their own being. So aside from the fact that it's a very beautiful passage, what I like about this quote is that it very much mirrors or expresses the same experiences that I have had in the last 4 years. I mean, it's one thing to read this and to say, wow, it's quite nice, but to actually experience those daily miracles, that's a different story. And I mean, I approached this from the other end. I experienced first, and then I started to seek out the intellectual backing to make sense of it. But when I first had my cubicle epiphany, this is exactly what happened to the world for me. All the things that he lists here as miracles are not miracles in the traditional religious sense of the word. Thrushes, seagulls, cars on the highway. These are about the most mundane things you can imagine. But as I have shared with you in previous videos and through other quotations, the idea is that the sacred is in the ordinary. The divine is in the mundane. There is nothing else. So to look for some kind of supernatural or mystical realm isn't going to work for us. We have to find the mystical in the mundane. We have to find the divine in the everyday, because that's the only place it can be, within us and all around us. It's the most obvious thing, but you have to look at it a certain way. And if you look at it through the filter of your everyday worldview, you're not going to see the thrushes. You're not going to see the seagulls. Your eyes might register them, but you will not actually see them. They're just going to glide past, and they won't even leave a footprint in your mind or in your memory. Whoever can take the time and the peace to observe is surprised. And this is exactly it. When you take the time to actually look at things, not just to let them pass in front of your eyes, but to actually look at them, to pay attention to the details, to look at the colors and the shading, all of the little intricate details that you never actually notice. When you take the time and the peace to observe these things, you will be surprised. You will be amazed, because these things have been around you all along, and they were just passing you by, and you never saw the beauty in them, and you never saw the divine in them. So this tells me that I should be on the lookout for these daily miracles, because even though I catch some of them, I'm sure many of them slip through my fingers, and there's always room for improvement. So I wish I could go through my entire day feeling like this. But unfortunately, the mind and the world have a way of intruding, and there are certain things that have to be done. And while I think it's possible to be in this state of mind at all times, I just haven't gotten there yet. And I don't know anyone else who has either, so at least I know I'm in good company. So how about you? Have you started to notice the daily miracles? Have you started to see the sacred in the ordinary? And if not, why do you think that is? Let me know in the comments down below. And like always, don't forget to live well, my friends.